Hey everyone, how are you? So I wanted to come on real quick. I just a few minutes ago saw a piece of bark on a tree that was shaped like a bird's beak, and then shortly after that I saw 3 blue jays pass by. So I think that this is really a great reminder about simplicity and about how some of the simplest things in life are the most beautiful. And it's interesting that this came to me because I do have my natal Venus in Taurus, and there is something very simplistic about that. Taurus is a sign that reminds us of this physical vessel and of the experiences that we can have on this physical plane. And I think in the spiritual community, a lot of times we try to go higher, we try to go to this far out spiritual plane, and we sort of forget that we are experiencing life through this physical vessel, and that is still an important part of the lessons that we need to learn on this physical plane. And it's interesting because Taurus is a fixed earth sign ruled by Venus. So yes, this is stubborn earth. This is staying in what is secure and what is practical and what is down to earth. And with this, it's sort of reminding us to look at what is going on in our physical life and what we need to work on as far as that goes. We tend to work a lot on the spiritual and forget about the physical things that need work as well. And so how does your health look? How do your finances look? All of these very simple human things, these little human values that we need to keep in mind and look at. And it's interesting because in the spiritual community, we see a lot of people talking about how money is evil, or spiritual people shouldn't be all about the money. But in a way, money gives us security. And so there is something about how money is whatever you believe it is. Whatever energy you tie to the money is what it will be. So if you believe that money is evil, then it will be utilized in a negative way in your life. Now, with this, it's interesting because this message isn't just for me. This is for all of the collective too, right? We have Uranus retrograde in Taurus, opposing Mars in Scorpio. And so Uranus is all of the collective. With Uranus, we are dealing with a sign that rules Capricorn and Aquarius. These two very social signs, right? These signs are in the public eye. And so with this, Uranus is dealing with all of the collective. It's dealing with everyone. And there's something about this energy of Uranus and Taurus that's reminding us, okay, as a collective, are we looking at the simpler things in life? Are we paying attention to the physical values, to the security, to the finance, the wealth, the prosperity, right? Taurus is a sign that wants to live the best life possible. And that is why you will see that if a Taurus is comfortable and secure, and I don't like the word comfortable, right? Because when we talk about comfort, we talk about staying in an old space. However, there's something about this energy of staying in what is secure and what is stable that is very human, very physical. This Taurus energy reminding us of the simple physical things in life. And so as a collective, are we paying attention to these things in life? Or are we trying to seek out something higher, something far away, right? Neptune being a very spiritual planet, and it's in its home sign of Pisces. But remember that Neptune is also a planet of delusion, of imagination, of going to this far out place that is beautiful and divine. And there's something about that where we miss out on the physical things in life. Remember that Virgo is the opposite of Pisces, and Virgo is dealing with day-to-day activities, day-to-day responsibilities, routines, habits, health, service to others, very physical. And so there's something about this energy where we have to remember that yes, we are spiritual, infinite beings, but we're living in this physical vessel, having this physical experience in this lifetime. And this is about the lessons that we need to learn. But there's also something, when I saw the Blue Jays are about living life to the fullest, right? They're about simplicity, but they're also about living your best life, living life to the fullest. And Taurus is a indulgent sign. It's very simplistic, but it does indulge in what is beautiful, in what is of value, in what love looks like. And so there is something about Taurus that reminds us that the simplest things in life are the most beautiful. And some of the simplest things in life have the most value, have the most worth, are the things that we should work for to strive to have that best life possible. And so this is a message for all of the collective as Uranus is here in this space. And of course, as it's making opposition to Mars in Scorpio, Mars is at home in Scorpio. Mars is this warrior-like energy of this passion, drive, focus, energy, right? It's where we're putting our energy and our drive into. And of course, Mars loves being in Aries, where it is very defensive, it's very warrior-like, but it is a very different energy in Scorpio. Mars is very much playing the offense in Scorpio, because remember that Scorpio is a fixed water sign. It's staying in the feeling, it's staying in the intuition, it's staying in the emotion. And so there is something about Scorpio where it has an internal knowing, not to be confused with impulse, right? Because Scorpio on the lower frequency can be very impulsive, but when we start to get to the higher levels, remember that the highest level of Scorpio is the Phoenix, right? It goes through these transitions of the 7 archetypes, from the spider all the way up to the Phoenix. And so it's interesting because as Scorpio gets higher, right, the eagle comes before the Phoenix. And so there is this level of wisdom, there is this level of guidance that is in the higher octaves of Scorpio. And because of this, Scorpio does have an internal knowing. And so Mars in Scorpio at its best is an energy that is this internal knowing, it is this focus, it is this drive, this internal passion and energy that is ready to take action. And not to take action in a defensive way, but to just act on things, right? There's no resistance, there's nothing to fight or battle, but just to go with the flow of life and to be decisive, to take action in life with this Mars and Scorpio energy. Now, on the lower octave, this Mars and Scorpio is very impulsive, very emotional, right? We see a lot with anger and aggression as we go into the lower octaves of this energy. Now, Scorpio is an energy that is looking for emotional fulfillment, right? One of the reasons why the moon falls in Scorpio is because, and by the way, the fall position is the weakest position, so the moon is at its weakest in Scorpio. And this is because Scorpio is intense and passionate emotion, right? So it's like we're turning the emotion all the way up. And so the moon falls deeper and deeper into this feeling, and it stays in the feeling. Remember that Scorpio is a fixed water sign, right? Fixed, determined, focused, stubborn. It's staying in the feeling. And so with this, there is something about trying to fulfill, trying to live the best life, trying to have what fulfills and satisfies you to the highest degree. And Uranus and Taurus is opposing this Mars and Scorpio, saying, wait a minute, let's look at not these spiritual and emotional things that we are attached to, but these physical things in this physical vessel, right? Scorpio doesn't physically own anything. It's attached through an emotional, spiritual bond. And so when we look at this Taurus energy, it is about what is on this physical plane and this physical vessel, reminding us of the physical values, the physical worth, and the beautiful life that you can build with the consistency and with the structure that you create in your life. And this is so related to 2020, right? Because 2019 is a number 3 year. And so throughout this year, we've been given opportunities.